Hi there, my name's Ruth Pringle, and these are your English Moments. English Moments is a series of videos that I'm making to help you learn English for autonomous English learners or to anybody who's learning English as part of a course, but who needs practical comprehension experience, listening experience. So one of my specialities is to work with immersive English and the idea of dropping yourself into a new culture and a new language and just being exposed to all of the different aspects that the language throws at you on a daily basis. It's how I coach English here in Scotland, in our learning hub here. But it's also what I try to simulate on my online courses as well, because that's the way to get the best results with your English, to get an English language that doesn't feel like some odd layer that you put on and then you take off later when you don't need it. Learning English in an immersive way is to really discover a part of you that is your English speaking self, and it is the best way to get long lasting results. English that follows you from context to context, situation to situation, whether you're enjoying a holiday and ordering in a restaurant, or in a professional context like making a presentation or meeting and greeting people. When you feel authentic with your English, when you feel like it's actually part of you and you're not pretending to be something else, that's when you get the best results and the strongest results. So in order to achieve this, well, it's not just vocabulary lists. It's not just traditional language learning as you probably know it. And that has its place. It's just this is a supplement for traditional English learning styles. This is the free place. This is a place for experimenting, playing, and really finding yourself in English. And it's an absolute pleasure to help you with this journey. So in this video channel, we will be looking at probably three main themes, and the overarching theme is this immersion English, this idea that you are going to be dipping into a kind of everyday experience here with me in Scotland. We'll talk a little bit about English language learning and give you tips and tools for doing that. So, for example, we're going to talk about journaling, we're going to talk about mindset issues, as well as just having a look at some of the language structures that you'll need, and explaining, in detail certain phrases that you will hear repeatedly that I know from experience are a little bit difficult to get the hang of. So overarching themes, we are going to be looking at English for creative careers. Now, this is quite specialist. This is English for anybody who's an artist, a designer, an architect. This is the majority of the people I coach online with my course Sketchbook English. So basically, there's a huge number of creatives who need to use English in their professional field. They're not interested in learning kind of English language to kind of sit an Oxford the university exam test. They're interested in communicating with each other about ideas and expressing their opinions and perhaps contradicting each other without having that creating any problems in the dynamic, because collaboration, language for collaboration, is such a delicate, sensitive thing to do. And if you're doing it in a second language, of course, it's really difficult. So we're going to be looking specifically at some of the language you need for your creative career. However, if you're thinking, this is not me, I'm not an artist, stay tuned, because the other thing I do is just teach English really creatively. So the people who benefit most from that are people who have tried traditional forms of language learning and what we call fallen off the bus. They've got stuck. They hated it for some reason, and there's lots of good reasons why you may have hated it. So people people who just think English language learning is not for them, they don't like it, they find it claustrophobic, I suppose. Claustrophobic. Don't want to do it, but you have to do it. You're in the right place here, because what I have in my tool belt as a teacher is a lot of ways of making this subject interesting for you. So yes, I will be targeting language for creatives, but in general English, I will be helping you find it palatable, consumable, that you want to show up and learn English, that you want to practice English, that you want to speak English. These are all my goals. And lastly, as part of my Immersion English video series, I'm going to be giving you a taste of culture, and that's going to take the form of lots of different styles. We're going to talk about objects, we're going to talk about experiences. Quite often I have a pen and paper and I'll just be drawing as I talk to you. The purpose of drawing while speaking is to give you a very visual, visual clues to the conversation, so that people of different levels can follow along and really have the impression that they're fully understanding the conversation. Because when you experience English in the UK, in America, it's fast. There's always going to be words that you don't understand. And what we're doing with this exercise, the drawing exercise, is a very deliberate exercise in Immersion English, in that it makes you and your brain feel happy in this context of perhaps not understanding every word, but still being able to understand the gist of the conversation and follow. Because conversation is just not all spoken word. There's what facial expressions, there's hand gestures, there's lip reading. It's all really important in actually understanding what's being said, and not just understanding the words, but understanding the meaning and the message, which is not the same thing at all. Okay, so here to help you, here to guide you. I'd love to get your feedback, your comments. I'd love to connect with you on LinkedIn if you are floating around on there. If that's your platform, I spend a lot of time there too, so come and say hi. Send me send me an invite to connect. Okay, great. Thanks for following, and I hope I can help you with your English.